So my name is Jay Scheib, and I've been directing plays and operas in New York and in Europe for the last 10 or 11 years. I sort of have like an unofficial ensemble of performers who I've been working with regularly also for like the last 10 years or so. I'm based at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is where my studio is, and every year we come together to make one or two independent performance projects. This particular piece is called World of Wires, and it's the third in a trilogy of works which are sort of focused on simulation practices, I guess. The first one was about Mars simulations, and the second one was about kind of like urban planning catastrophes. And this third piece, World of Wires, is based on Rainer Werner Fassbinder's film Welt am Draht, which was adapted from a novel by Daniel Galui called Simulacron 3. And it's basically about an artificial intelligence computer science guy who is building a computer simulation, and one day one of his friends disappears, and he slowly comes to find out that he's actually living inside of the simulation that he thought he was designing. And that's the caper, pretty much. So this piece is kind of also part of a bigger project which I've called live cinema. So it essentially means that the stage architecture is built such that from the perspective of the audience you can see everything is sort of partially visible. So you see the action through windows and down hallways and around corners, reflected in mirrors, but also projected onto a large projection surface. So there are cameras throughout the stage architecture, and that live action is basically staged for the camera, like one continuous shot, essentially. And in this piece, which is different from previous works, I'm operating the camera myself, and I'm actually on stage doing what will amount to a single shot, 90-minute film, I guess, that's projected live, performed live and projected live as part of the theatrical presentation. Part of the idea, I guess, is that we're constantly trying to address what's real and what's not real, and just sort of address how reality gets presented. So by putting me on stage with the performers, where I'm not really playing a role other than that of, I'm not playing a role, I'm just being a sort of cinematographer and being a director. So I occasionally, in that position, I have kind of the opportunity to continue working with the actors through the performances. So we make small changes on the fly. Maybe I ask to repeat something if it gets messed up, or if I notice that there's like this sort of interesting opportunity, I can encourage them to take advantage of it and improvise, so to speak. So that's really I guess in a nutshell, that's what I'm up to. This is something that we're trying to do now. As I mentioned, it's kind of based on this television series that Fassbinder made, and part of like what we've been thinking about is that, well, Fassbinder made 40-some films, I don't know, and we lost him before he turned 40. So his output was extremely high. So we are actually thinking that we will then find a way to turn this into a single take, if we can get good enough at it, or if I can get good enough at it, to turn it into a single take film. And then on the side, we're sort of making knockoff versions of others of his films, or we would like to.
Which ones?
I'd really like to do Garbage, the City, and Death, Katzelmacher, and Love is Colder Than Death. If we can sort of come up with a way to make a sort of parallel versions of these films by July, then we would really sort of be getting into the spirit of Fassbinder. In a way, like what's important to me is that whole era of filmmaking. So what's important to me about Fassbinder is also important to me about Godard, which is that they're kind of like, they're overspeeding. They're working so fast that they it feels to me like they're getting to a point where they're making cinema actually a thought process. Like you can sort of see Fassbinder's thinking about issues that were confronting Germany at the time. And he's working fast enough with the medium that he's actually really just like expressing his ideas. And his ideas are relevant and immediate and present in the world. Which I think makes some of his films hard to follow today. Like if you don't know what happened with the RAF and who was held hostage, it's hard to understand, I think, sometimes what he was doing. But I liked this exchange, and I liked this moment in filmmaking.